Hey guys, FTK here. I finally sorted out my tripod, so I thought it was a great time to do a deck video of my Granblue Nightrose deck. If you've been following my blog posts, there's been a lot of work that's gone into this deck, a lot of changes, and I think I've finally found a build that I like enough to be able to play it a lot. So yeah, without further ado, we can go straight into the build. Our starter is of course going to be Grenache, or Grenake, whatever his name is. Really cool card. When he is sent to the drop zone, if he's hollowed, you can counter charge too. Well, it's no, when he's put into drop zone from the effect of hollow. Sorry, it's a better way to word it. Yeah, so obviously this is our counter charge mechanic. So there's a lot of stuff that needs counter blasts in this deck. It's a very counter blast heavy deck. This guy's completely key. I'm actually playing two of this guy, one as a starter, one in main deck. Honestly, the starter has been one of the most difficult to try and get right. I've gone through loads of combinations of just what the one Grenache and Forbidden Space Banshee, Grenache and Peter the Ghosty, because it is so difficult. So we're going to go straight in with our 4 Nightrose, subpar GB2 and the on-stride skill that you would expect. There's not really a hell of a lot more to say about her. The reason I say the GB2 is subpar, the main combo you can do with it is to have Grenache, have him hollowed, let him retire, use GB2, which is, I should probably mention that, once per turn, when your unit's put into the drop zone, you mill 3, 2 or 3 I think it's, yeah, it's you, but mill 3, and then call it back. And then for the combo, what you do, you call it back, hollow it again, it's still the end phase, he retires again, so essentially you get the counter charge 4, but it's, yeah. And the on stride skill is counter blast 1, resurrect something, give plus 4k. So again, it's just kind of air, but it serves a purpose, it does a job. Next we're playing 2 of this guy. Again, Grey 3 is another part of the lineup of the deck, which has spent a long time being changed and switched around. But this guy's really good, just purely because of the columns he can make. The double mill is kind of like air again, you know, you're risking losing triggers, all this kind of stuff, which you don't particularly want. But it swings for 19, essentially, but the 7k boost, so that's 26. So, really nice. And it's got the skill to retire one of your Grey 2 or Grey 2 rear guards and call him, so I mean, because that counter blast, I personally don't find myself doing it that often, but it's a nice skill to have. Next, we are playing double Nightstorm. This guy is our Hollow Searcher, and also, that's not really why I'm playing him. I mean, he's the off-ride to Nightrose, but when he's hollowed, at the end of the battle, he's attacked a Vanguard, counter blast 1, and then you resurrect something. So that's pretty nice. Doesn't have to be boosted, just has to attack a Vanguard. So bring him back, hollowed. He swings at Vanguard. Counter blast 1, resurrect sync. Pretty nice. You can get some pretty nice combos going, like even on your first turn stride. Like just by playing this guy, you can do a huge turn just with even striding Obadiah and just going that way about it. So there are combos you can do with him. Next up, one of the big players of the deck, Negralazy. You'd be happy to see it's only 3. That is less for budget reasons in this deck, and more because I've just found that 3 is a better number to play with him than 4. So his skill is when he's put on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, if you have a Nightrose Vanguard, counter blast 1, soul blast 1, resurrect something, just make sure I'm reading this right, you resurrect something, Negralazy gets plus 2k, and during the end phase, when he's put into drop zone, due to the effect of hollow ability, you counter charge and soul charge. So, essentially, you don't have to hollow him. There's a really great thing about his card, you can use it as a skill from your hand or from the drop zone, get that resurrect, really nice. And if you do use the skill and you hollow him, So the only downside is you lose the unit, which is neither here nor there in Granblue. You get the count, he refunds his cost anyway. Really nice card. Reason to not play him at 4, you have ways of searching stuff out, mainly Obadiah. You would usually dump one of these guys for Obadiah, and then, you know, in your hand he doesn't really do a lot. You'd rather do it from drop zone. Next up, I couldn't find reason enough not to play a unit that, you know, when it attacks, if it's hollowed, he swings for 16. So he attacks GB1, he attacks for 11. So he is our essentially 12k attacker, but we've got an 11k attacker. But the second, you know, the hollow skill more than makes up for that, because he becomes a 16k attacker from the drop zone. You know, pretty insane. Just massive numbers, and it's hollow, so just generally works for the theme of the deck. Next up, we're playing double Colombard. This guy is a unit that is much more effective in a 7Cs deck, just because they don't abuse their counterblast quite as much. But again, he's just kind of a nice card to have when you don't have Nightrose. Obviously, you'd always much rather have Nightrose, but if you don't, you can still get that resurrection, and for the same cost. Only downside to this guy, he doesn't give a plus, which is kind of one of my big problems with him. I thought he would basically have the Nightrose effect and resurrect and give 2k. Next up, this is another card I couldn't find a reason to not play, at least 2 of. It's just such a good common. I mean, admittedly, a lot of the time, you don't want to play that counterblast, but he is there just in case, because, you know, some of these pesky rear guards, you choose any one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. Then if this guy's hollowed, which there's never really a reason to not hollow it unless you play against Diablo, you draw a card. Really great all-round card. This is one of those cards every Granblue deck should play. It's just that retire of anything. There's not that many units that can retire anything for the cost of a counterblast. Next we've got the tech card. This is our King Serpent. He is, when he's resurrected, counter charge 1, soul charge 1. Reasoning for this, he's really just for that nice mid-battle counter charge. So the idea is you can resurrect it with Nightrose, costless, make not a great column to be fair, and then you swing with that column. But then because you've then got the counterblast, you get it's basically another attack, because the general way stuff is resurrected in this deck is with a counterblast. If you can't get hold of that, probably just play another Colombard or another probably Negrook. Probably not lazy. You don't need 4 lazy. Next up, our Perfect Guard. It's Water Spout instead of Tornado Gen. Nothing really to say there. It's your Perfect Guard. It's your unflipper. You can probably get away with playing the Freddy the Ghosty. Obviously that works with Obadiah the Ghosty King as well. But I think in a Nightrose deck specifically, it's just nice to have the counter charge. Our Stride Enablers, we want Stride always, and when we can, we want Nightrose. So then this is Negrobone. 3 copies of this. This is just again about generating those extra attacks. The way I've built the deck is about getting extra attacks. But this guy, you know, he swings. That's why the unflipper guy, King Serpent, comes in nice, because you know you get the resurrect, unflip, so it's free attack column. Then you can use that counterblast with this guy. It's at the end of the battle that he boosts a rear guard. If you have a Vanguard with Nightrose in its name, you retire the unit that's boosted and call something with the hollow ability from your drop zone. So it's basically counterblast 1 again, another resurrect, another column with Nightrook, that's free 16, well, counterblast 1, another 16 attack, and Ghast goes up to 19 if you mill the 2, and obviously dump any triggers on that. It passes 21, so it's pretty decent. Then we have 2 Sea Strolling. Honestly, this was when another comes out, this is one of the first things to be dropped. Don't get me wrong, it's a really good card. 7 Cs, it's a monster, but in Nightrose, it has its place, but I'm only playing 2. Because you much rather use Soul for Negralazy, even though he refunds his soul. Yeah, but they're there. Definitely play them. Next into triggers, we're playing our 4 Rusty's Banshee. This is the crit from the trial deck. Put it into the soul, draw 1 card, draw another crit. It's always the way. It will be the way. And then I'm playing another 4 crit for a total of 8. Playing 2 of the brand new Mick the Ghosty and Family stand trigger. Really good card. When it's resurrected, it gives plus 10,000 to something, and then when he's put, if he's hollowed, isn't it? Yeah, he's hollowed. No reason it's not hollowed. So call him out, hollow him. You give another unit plus 10,000 power, and then when he's put to the drop zone by the effect of hollow, he shuffles back into the deck. I'm making the ultimate sacrilege, or what would have been the ultimate sacrilege in Granblue, way back when. I'm actually playing 2 draw triggers for heal, guess what I was saying. Alright, moving into the strides. Of course, we have our Phantasm Pirate King, despite being female, but you know what? Gender equality, whatever. Pretty simple skill. When it attacks, counterblast 2 and resurrect 2 rear guards in different rows. So one at the front, one at the back. There's not really much else to say. She is kind of the big. It's a very simple effect, but I remember when this deck, when the support was first revealed, and this stride was revealed, I was convinced it was going to be GR. It was going to have this giant big effect, and it's going to do all these things. But it does just quite simply Granblue. That's what it does. It just resurrects 2. It's mid-battle resurrection, of course, which is really nice. Which so you can just get this is comes into play with the King Serpent, getting that mid-battle unflip, that mid-battle extra attack, and it can just be devastating, particularly the second time you do it. Counterblast 2 is heavy, but that's why we have grown up. Not much more to say about her. Our on hit is Bandit Rum. His effects, when he hits, resurrect something, and does it give? Yeah, plus 2k power. Pretty nice. This is kind of like that turn where you don't have counterblasts, or that turn where you don't have counterblast enough to make big turns. This is just kind of that on-hit pressure where you don't need the counterblast, of course. Next up, probably one of the best stride arts in the game. Like, oh my god, look at it. This is our Ghosty Great King Obadiah, and his effect is when he's strode, you search your deck for 3, isn't it? Yeah, up to 3 cards, put them to your drop zone, and then if at least 2 of them are hollow, yeah, if at least 2 of them were hollow, you resurrect a Ghosty. The basic strategy you do with this deck is your first stride, you do this guy onto Nightrose or not, doesn't make a difference. You send probably, depending on what you've got, well, basically the idea is you want to get rid of this guy who you've got behind your Vanguard. So while it isn't the most, it's not the best way to do it, the most traditional way, well, the way I've seen people do it, is just grabbing your Stride Enabler and then resurrecting him behind Vanguard, and then calling Grand Archers, of course, in the drop zone. Of course, you can call anything over Grand Arch, but this way you're kind of doing it from the deck. It's almost done for free. You lose Stride Enabler, yeah, but sort of like it takes getting used to the deck, just generally. But yeah, then you want your hollow units, some of your key cards, like depending on what you got in hand, your Negralazy, your Negro Rook, you know, just stuff like that you know you can bring back. And then finally, this guy, the 8th stride for now, is Blue Harp. It's one of those cards where if it may be able to help you if you're in a complete dire situation. You can't blast 1, basically replace 2 rear guards with rear guards from, well, units from your drop zone and call them over. So it's kind of like, it's not particularly good. like it becomes, you know, some of the stuff you do becomes almost makes itself a moot point, which is kind of weird. But you know, it's an option, and it's just a nice option to have. Yeah, that is my deck. This is what I'm playing at the moment. Like I said, a lot of tweaking has been done, but I've this is a build I can probably say that I'm happy with. It's really fun. So thank you for watching. Please let me know what you think, and please subscribe, and look forward to new videos. Thank you very much for watching.